Protesters back in the spotlight during Seattle's annual Christmas tree lighting ceremony. And a gunman now behind bars after a deadly shooting rampage at a Planned Parenthood center in Colorado. And there may be some frost outside this morning. Ben has the complete weekend forecast, including the ski slopes that are open this holiday weekend.
You're watching King 5 News.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Teresa Yuan in for Amity Idrisi. Thanks for joining us on the Saturday weekend. Well, the tree is lit at Westlake Center, but for the second year in a row, protests broke out during the ceremony. Hundreds of protesters demonstrated peacefully, but as you can see there, some did not, and police arrested 4 people. One officer dislocated his shoulder, making an arrest. Their message was against racism, saying Black lives are more important than Black Friday.
The message is that all lives matter, whether it's black, white, whatever.
You know, this is a family holiday function, and it's a little bit overboard in my opinion, but you know, what can you do?
But unlike last year, the downtown tree lighting ceremony went smoothly. The city did hire an independent agency to organize this year's event. Mayor Ed Murray and Police Chief Kathleen O'Toole were in the middle of the protests and the tree lighting. They both told King 5 they were pleased with how things played out. Police Chief O'Toole said the police try to facilitate protesting to the greatest extent possible. The mayor thought officers did accomplish that.
I saw this evening where people celebrating, lighting the Christmas tree, and people protesting about a very important, the most important issue this city faces, this nation faces.
Both said for most of the evening, protesters showed respect, and they said their #1 goal this year was safety. The man who police say went on a deadly shooting rampage at a Planned Parenthood in Colorado Springs is in jail now. Police say Robert Louis Deere killed 3 people, including a police officer. In all, 9 people were hospitalized with injuries after that gunman stormed into the clinic yesterday afternoon. He was armed with a rifle, then barricaded himself inside that clinic. After a 5-hour standoff, the suspect finally surrendered. That officer killed has been identified as Garrett Swayze. He was one of the first responders who arrived on scene.
We saw a lot of individual acts of bravery today, and actually a lot of bravery as a team. It was amazing how law enforcement and first responders came together today, worked very well and efficiently today, but it still is a horrible tragedy.
The motive of the shooting remains unclear. 2 civilians were killed in the assault on that clinic. Those injured in the shooting are said to be in good condition. Des Moines police want to find a bank robber who witnesses say had kids in his getaway car. Detectives say the man walked into a Wells Fargo bank near 7th Avenue South. They say he handed the teller a note, then took off with the cash. Well, detectives say the suspect was not wearing gloves and touched the counter several times. So they're hoping to get a good set of fingerprints from that scene to help them solve this case. And a Stage 2 burn ban is in effect for Pierce and Snohomish counties. Officials bumped up the status due to an air stagnation advisory issued by the National Weather Service. They have asked residents to limit using fireplaces, wood stoves, and inserts unless they are using them for heat. Now, outdoor burning is also banned, and King and Kitsap counties could follow suit soon. Forecasters say air quality could worsen through Monday morning. A service of remembrance in Paris honored those killed in those November 13 terror attacks, the country uniting behind the still grieving relatives of those who died. Meanwhile, police continue to search for 2 of the suspects near Brussels and elsewhere. Europe's most wanted, Salah Absalam, along with a man seen with him, are both still on the loose. Meantime, security remains tight in France ahead of an international conference on climate change. Extra police officers and 2,800 troops are now in position at the site of the conference. This is just north of Paris. The conference starts on Monday. At the conference, Bill Gates plans to launch a multi-billion-dollar clean energy initiative. Countries will commit to doubling their clean energy research and development budgets by 2020. Francis celebrated Mass early today in Uganda. It is his second stop on his 3-nation African tour. The Pope is honoring Christian martyrs killed in the late 1800s on orders by a local king. The 23 Anglican and 22 Catholic martyrs were burned alive rather than renounce their faith. As many as 2 million people are expected to attend this Mass. A piece of debris found off the coast of the United Kingdom could be from a SpaceX rocket. Take a look. This is a picture of that chunk of metal. You can see the American flag on the side. The UK's Coast Guard agency says it appears similar to the unmanned SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, which blew up, as you might remember, after taking off from Cape Canaveral in June. But SpaceX has not commented on that discovery. Today is Small Business Saturday. Ahead, we're going to look at ways you can help locally owned businesses. And here's a live look from our waterfront tower cam. It is a chilly morning, but it's dry, and Ben Deary will let us know if rain is in the way when King 5 Morning News continues. Stay with us.